Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing so well today. I was just doing a little bit of a a hot girl walk around the neighborhood because it is finally so beautiful, and that's kind of what I love to do whenever it's nice and warm out. And I was having my coffee and saw all these little dandelions on everyone's lawn, and they were accompanied by all of these wood violets that are purple. And purple, you know, it always represents spirit, and I love that contrast that they're actually complementary colors, purple and yellow. So I wanted to see what the deal was. It felt like there was a message. This isn't going to be a pick a card. This is just going to be like a message for the collective. And just so you guys know, I always use like the protection of Archangel Michael in my readings. I'm not bringing through just random spirits. I just wanted to make that clear, so maybe we can just be even more specific today, and through the energy of this dandelion and Archangel Michael, let's just see what message wants to come through for the collective. Let me just have a little sip of coffee first. Okay, now let's get some good purple and yellow going on. So let's start with, we're gonna start with some earth magic. I wanna do tiny messages. I don't know how, who, what, where this reading is going, but let's just figure it out together. Okay, so Archangel Michael in combo, Archangel Michael, Spirit Purple in combo with this lovely yellow. Guys, I don't really know what that means. We're just gonna work with it. There's something there. Sometimes, you know, when you get a message, you guys probably already know this, it's like, and I run into this all the time, I try to like explain things too much, but sometimes you just know, right? Sometimes you just know, and maybe that's just like a theme for this, but I knew that there was something in between this purple and yellow going on. Purple, the color of royalty as well. All right, so let's get a nice shuffle on these cards. It does feel like you. Volcano with volatility. Ooh, okay, the explosion of something, the shaking of something, something that was very hot under the surface coming to the surface. Volcanoes, I'm pretty sure, are responsible for building new land masses. Isn't that true? So something that is like seemingly destructive is actually very creative. There's the message. Very interesting. Volcanoes, yeah, can kind of also be this concept of Earth, like Gaia, Mother Earth, releasing frequencies of trauma through the surface, right? I think that's something to do with volcanoes as well. Maybe something, some sort of, I just heard cathartic change. Now, cathartic doesn't really necessarily go with my understanding of a volcano, right? But also the ash that comes from volcanoes and settles into the soil is very nourishing. It really adds a lot to the soil quality. This is very interesting. You burn prairie, control burn prairies in order to have those seeds, maybe kill the weed seeds, but also there are some seeds that need flame and fire, you know, this kind of energy of the volcano volatility, in order to break that hard shell, in order for life to come out. Interesting. So I don't want to put this in a predictive lens yet, so let's go for some tarot before we really pin down what this message is about. Let me just, I need to get a little bit more organized, excuse me, with my cards. Maybe I can build like a, I don't know why I'm telling you guys this, like a mini, a mini bookshelf. I'm seeing, back in the days, people used to stack up their CDs on these things. Back in the days, I feel weird saying that because technically, back in the days is me. Sorry, I'm already connected to something else. Sorry, you guys, I always do that. It's very interesting to read for people online when you don't see them, because you're basically having a conversation with your spirit guides, trying to acknowledge people who aren't there but are, and also like keep yourself grounded in this reality. It's fun. So give yourself some credit if there are other people in here who read tarot cards, who read for people, who do spiritual readings, things of that nature. Give yourself a little bit of credit. Okay, so we have this Judgment card coming out. I love to see that, followed by the Nine of Wands. Okay, so this gives me someone who's really been put through several tests. It could be recent, but this feels a little bit more thematic, like in general, this hardening process. But I see this release, right? If we look right here, the angel is giving me, life, because you're getting the breath of life evidenced by those little squiggle lines right there of sound coming out, and the dead rising, rapture, okay? We also have the same concept of opening, right? We have this closed casket, so maybe a volcano before something is burst open, we're like looking to the heavens, okay? So we're like changing something from looking over our shoulder to looking towards the heavens. I think we could all stand to benefit at this time of having a little bit more faith and trust in the universe. That's a message that's coming through. The Nine of Wands, what it's giving me is the transformation from a very 3D way of going about life into a more 4D. I think in the past, maybe as far as 2020 or 2021 and all the years before that, it's been in like a more wounded divine masculine, which is an excessive amount of force. This has to do with achieving things in life, or getting things, gaining things. Things could be things, people, jobs, moves, houses, the way we acquire things, the way that we rise in status through life. I think we're observing a transformation from that, because it feels like it's been very tiring. It's a very weary way. It's very possible, but I think that the frequency is rising, okay? And I think that this volcano with volatility is very symbolic and thematic, which is what I was feeling at first. I think across the earth, right? Across earth in general, across all communities, I just got a ding off camera too. We're experiencing all this volatility, and I think it's really important to remain grounded as much as we can, but having a measure of faith and trust in the universe as well. Because like the volcano, like ash, and like how when magma hardens and forms land masses, there is going to be something new out of this. It could very well be this new earth, right? But I'm getting more of a frequency of achieving things, okay? Because the Nine of Wands talk about willpower, and they're also very spiritual. So willpower is giving me divine masculine, making things happen for you. But if you had a little bit more faith and trust in the universe to provide for you, that's giving me spirituality, okay? So I feel like we're observing this difference between the way we go about our life, okay? And I also feel like we just want to have this message of having a little bit more faith and trust right now. Even though things may seem messy in the external, we want the internal to be very peaceful. And I know that's easier said than done. Judgment card gives me a crossroads, because we see the big red cross. And I think the biggest message that always comes through is let the dead bury the dead, let bygones be bygones. And for some of you, this can be opening up that closet and letting light in to kind of turn those skeletons into dust. And some of us already have. And some of us just need to take those closet doors off. I don't know who that message is for, but yeah, that's a fun one. Some of us need to just keep that door open, or just take that door off its hinges. Maybe some of you guys are remodeling your house or doing some spring cleaning, but what I do see is like a decided, like, we're gonna leave this, okay? Spirit just showed me like island hopping and archipelago. And it's like, we're gonna leave this island behind and to find new life, okay? A new mode of being is coming through as well. Very interesting. All these messages coming through for the collective. Don't forget to call upon your spirit guides from time to time and to ask things of them. I think we really get into this state of doing and being, which is like we have to do everything for ourselves. We have to always be on. If you look, this guy is very weary, very capable. I always picture that he's achieved all 8 of those wands that he has stacked behind him, okay? But always on. He's got that white bandage that's giving me radar on his head, and he's kind of weary, leerily looking over his shoulder. Always on, perpetually on, waiting for the next thing to happen. It's a message of don't get caught waiting for the other shoe to drop, which is a reflection of have more faith and trust in the universe to provide. I think that you guys are very capable of achieving a state of like inner harmony and bliss despite the chaos around you, and other people might not they might think that's strange or bizarre that you can stay so calm even though things around you are not calm. And again, I mean this in a very liberal sense, a very expanded sense, in the world at large. This is like people who are worried about saving money for a rainy day, and so they, you know, they work 50, 60, 70-hour work weeks because they think they have to secure all that for themselves because there's no other force that's going to work with them. And this is an invitation from Spirit to drop that, okay? To drop that frequency, to allow more faith and trust in your frequency and see where that carries you, because it's literally going to make you more buoyant, okay? So that will carry you elsewhere. Now, I'm also getting this concept of if we can let that like need to do everything for ourselves go, we can develop new ways of doing things. Because if you're not loading, and this could be metaphorical, if you're not loading yourself with 50, 60, 70, 80 hours of work in order to create that abundance in the future for yourself, that security net, what you could be doing with that free time is thinking or just being, which is going to allow other ideas to come to you, which may even provide the insight that you don't need that extra money, or technically being in that mindset of needing to go out there and secure everything for yourself is actually a reflection of not believing in yourself to provide for yourself in the future. Now, that was a very long-winded way of saying you guys have all of these tools at your disposal, many lessons already under your belt, so that when things arise, like when an eruption arises, you can stay buoyant and calm throughout that entire process. You don't let it overwhelm you. You don't let it drown you in the chaos. We want you to continue to float like this, but take it further, okay? So allow something to drop away from you. Some things, you know, change can be ugly at times, but again, it can also provide a lot. So I'm getting just, we're gonna move on from this message, I swear. But Spirit's really saying like, allow some more love and joy and happiness into your frequency, and allow something that's like, gotta do it this way, like A and then B, then C, then D, then E and F. Allow that kind of thinking to drop away, because that's holding on to the 3D, which is only going to create this tension, so that when finally there's like so much tension, it's going to create this massive explosion. And maybe we can lessen the tension on the planet, is what Spirit is showing me. I think that other light workers out there, starseeds, just spiritual adepts, wanderers, what we can do is just hold this frequency of a little bit more quietness and faith and trust, and it just allows things to relax a little bit. Okay, so let's move forward. Let's take a look at a lesson that we're kind of learning as a collective right now. Everyone here, this could be very specific to some of us. It could be very general. Envy, interesting. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. Do you see how these colors? That's very significant to me. This envy, it really does read into kind of a root chakra, okay? Interesting. So I am the same as everybody else, but with different challenges, okay? So what this is getting, is this a religious quote? I just heard, forgive thy neighbor. There might be like a, oh God, this makes me sound so stupid. Like a psalm, a palm, or like a Matthew or a Jacob, or, you know, one of those, are they prophets? Don't read me. There's some, I think, like Bible quote that says there's something else attached there. Forgive thy neighbor. Maybe some of you know that. So just explore that if that was relevant to you. But what I'm getting, especially with all of these, it's like you guys have really learned lots of different things through life, lots of spiritual lessons. Some of you have been planted in very difficult situations. This could be with family members, or somewhere rather remote, or somewhere that you just feel like the black sheep. So like you're very spiritual, but the community and the state around you is not very spiritual, or what you want to do for your life doesn't really exist where you were planted. For example, someone born in a rural, kind of rather remote location, wanting to get into the arts or entertainment and having to relocate and just having to go through lots of hurdles in life. Recognize that even when people on the outside seem to have a lot, there could be a lot that you don't see on the inside. Spirit just showed me a king, a queen, a prince. So they have, you know, all of their food and resources met, but what people don't recognize is that there's so much on their mental plate that other people don't have to worry about. For example, the king and queen and prince, you know, they have to worry about other rulers and nations attacking them. They have to worry about spies. They have to worry about feeding their citizens and providing safety. They have to worry about mutiny. They have to worry, you know, there's so much that even though they have a lot as far as resources go, they've got a roof over their head, food, as much money as they could want, they still have other things that those without those assets have to deal with. Okay, so we're going through this concept right now on the collective of just, you know, other walks of life are just as valuable. Even, here's a good one for spiritual adepts in here, even if they're not awakened, even if they're not doing spiritual things, that doesn't make them less valuable. That's an interesting message that I've been realizing on my own lately. Even if someone isn't working on spirituality, it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to. I hope that makes sense to people. Do I want to bring that any further? It's like not, for example, what if that person in a different incarnation was a monk or a high priestess, but in this incarnation, they're working on something totally different. Spirit is showing me a very expanded view of people. And they also just told me that that's not a problem with anyone on this channel. That's just be the change you wish to see is coming through as well. Okay, so this envy card, it's almost like every instance that we show the people around us that we're not envious and that we value people the same, what we do is we show that and share that light and brightness with those people around us to inspire them to do the same in the future. Yeah, it's just, Spirit was like, this isn't technically necessarily something that anyone watching this video will struggle with. It's more that, again, just like being calm despite the chaos in the world, that inspires others. Not judging people despite whether, you know, they have good fortune or have done bad things, you know. I think that the complexity of a soul and a spirit realm and the universe at large, it's so much more complex than any spiritual adept, any highly intelligent individual could ever conceptualize in this incarnation. That frequency of knowledge, it's too much for any person. And so that kind of reveals a major ignorance about everyone on the planet, a major blind spot about everyone, because we don't really know how things are on the other side, beyond the other side? What if there are 90 other sides? What if there are 200 other sides? What if there are, that's interesting, what if there are -2 other sides? What would it be like to have a negative, a not on the other side, less than what is? I don't know, that's a really interesting concept. I could just totally go off on that, but I think it would pull us so far out of here. But it was just to illustrate how little we really do know, which will help us, you know, really understand that it's not useful to judge anyone outside of us. Now, if things, you know, set you off and people upset you, definitely set up those boundaries. Okay, we're not saying just allow that. Definitely, you know, be the change you wish to see. We're moving from this. Okay. What else? What are we at? 20 minutes? Let's just go a little bit further. You know, I wanted to do those tiny messages. So let's do that and see what comes through. Maybe just some advice. Okay. All right, so this is, again, Archangel Michael. We're gonna put this little guy back in. Some little ones down here I can feel. I want, like, I don't know. At least those. Okay, we might do more. Okay, we have tonight, mirror doors. Oh my God. And we have this, I call it the third eye, because it's got like a monocle over it. It always, you know, makes me think of the third eye. It did fall on this Nine of Wands, this radar comment that I made. You know, the bandage in many cards, this is the only one, except I just realized the Magician, where the bandage is not covering the eyes, which gives me blocked intuition. You can see the bandage is still on the head, still an awareness of it, but not covering the vision. So what I'm getting is, oh, and this kind of really looks like a very beautiful third eye too. What I'm getting is you guys have like increased intuition at this time, but continuously. This is giving me an awakening. It's giving me this eye opening. And because we have the angel right here and it's a major arcana card, we have mirror doors as well. What I'm getting is like your access to spiritual knowledge and abilities, it's becoming like open. And because I heard continuously, it's gonna continue opening for the rest of your life. I feel like because 3D feels very blocked, we're moving towards a higher frequency, a higher dimension. And this is in a global sense. I'm getting this concept of we're not gonna have the same level of blockages when it comes to spiritual lessons or awakening of spiritual abilities and powers. I'm getting that that's kind of no longer a frequency. We're now in the frequency, okay, Spirit just showed me that knowledge and experience and wisdom is going to help you open this door. Before, I'm getting that there had to be many other things in place for that door to open. But now I'm getting the concept, as long as you're still pursuing things, practicing things, this door is gonna open wider, continuously, meaning that I don't think that there is a limit in this incarnation as far as where you want to go in the spiritual realms. Okay, so some of you, like, this could be astral travel. Some of you, this could be timeline hopping. Some of you, this could be mediumistic abilities, psychic abilities, alchemy in general, magic in general. I'm getting that there was this time where there was a lot more magic in this world, and that was really shut down because we entered this like really divine masculine, and the divine masculine energy got wounded because we pushed and we only leaned into that. Now we're having this like relaxation coming through. in a global sense, and that is the divine female. And so what I'm getting is that that divine female, that relaxation, is just fueling a very different way of being. And I'm getting that the doors for like magic are opening. The connection for spirituality, it's opening. I'm getting that many kind of like really dense souls are leaving this planet. And as a result, the frequency, it's a lot lighter. And so if you guys are really curious about pursuing spiritual gifts, again, I'm getting this message about you're gonna have a lot more ease with that because of the frequency of the planet right now. And moving forward every day, every week, every year from here on out, that is supported, because I feel like that's what Earth is up for, some sort of graduation. This gives me graduation. Soul graduation, rapture, right? So it was just like a quick message that your guys' third eyes, you're probably recognizing a lot of synchronicities lately, a lot of them, or your psychic ability is becoming a lot more apparent. Like you're really getting that if you think of something and desire it, you'll get it that day. I have, for example, this coffee cup. Love it, because it holds a lot of coffee. But my little, what's it called? My pour over thing, it's just barely too small for this. So it's really kind of shifty when I pour this coffee. And I was like, you know what? I want another coffee cup. And then, I literally put that thought out of mind. The next day, my best friend was like, hey, I saw this and I thought of you. And she literally, I love Bigfoot, you guys. Literally that later that day, I was like, oh, here's your cup. That's how fast magic is, you guys. And that's what I'm sensing for you guys. You're recognizing how quick it is, or there's just like an increase in abundance of signs and synchronicities. I think what that is showing us is that is the general direction, because I don't think this is letting up. That is the general direction of everyone who's spiritual, but everyone who's not spiritual is going to be moving towards that. And I think that those of us who are very spiritual, we're here to like show other people that way. We're here to teach about that. Some of us just need to lead by example if we don't want to be teachers forthright, outright. Others of us, who really do enjoy spiritual topics, the occult, it would be very good for us to kind of allow that which was once hidden to be out in public. I'm getting like, some of us have like dormant powers, some of us have real wisdom that's beneath us, and I think that wherever you feel comfortable sharing your spiritual practices, sharing concepts such as magic, any of these occult or esoteric topics, we're like allowing that to come out. Because what I'm getting from the lava and the volcano is magic, right? Creating something from nothing, alchemy, magic, the nothingness. Here's the open water. There's no land here, just water. Well, volcano, over time, it creates lots of lava. Now it's above the surface of the water. We've got algae, we've got birds flying, we've got seeds, we've got life. Suddenly that entire nothingness, which was just water, is a thriving island. So that's magic. And what I'm getting is that your magic, your wisdom within, it's time to allow that to come out wherever you feel that is comfortable. Tonight's giving me nighttime. Mirror doors. Really tiny message. Watch mirrors that face your bed. Okay, if you're sensitive. I don't like that. Another one, just be more aware of your dreams, okay? Nighttime might be a very good time for you guys to explore more esoteric topics, magical practices. To experiment with them might be a good time as well. Early in the morning is great, and after dark, because there is a little bit more calmness around the planet on an energetic level. Right, less bombardment there. All right, you guys, I think we're gonna wrap up this message here. It could keep going on for like an hour, it feels like. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you for spending a little bit of your time with me. If you like this message, feel free to give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Help spread the messages towards other spiritual people, other people who might find this interesting, wanderers, lightworks, and lightworkers, and the like. Leave a comment if you felt this resonated, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, wherever you are in the world, and until next time, stay divine.